7 brings you more news with Sally Bowery.
You're watching 7 News at 7.
Weeknights on 7-2. This is 7 News.
Tonight, grim discovery. A man's body found floating in a Hallshead canal. Essendon's chairman answers questions for the first time over the club's supplement saga. And a 26-year-old accused of indecent dealings with schoolgirls at a northern suburb shopping centre.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Samantha Jolly.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the discovery of a man's body in a canal near Mandurah. Rob Scott is in Hallshead, near where the body was found. And Rob, major crime detectives and forensic officers were called to the scene.
Yes, Sam, there were. Some of them are in fact still here. Now, police say they are treating this death as suspicious until they can prove otherwise. And at the moment, the homicide squad will lead this investigation. The grim discovery was made by a member of the public just after 10 o'clock this morning. The man's body was seen floating in the water about 50 metres offshore in one of the canals behind me here in Hallshead. Now, police say it appears the man's body has been in the water for quite some time, which is making identifying him and also working out how, in fact, he died very difficult. But as I mentioned, they are treating this death as suspicious for now. Sam?
OK, thanks, Rob. James Hird could be coaching Essendon for the last time this season tonight, with penalties over the club's supplement saga expected to be handed down on Monday. Nathan Templeton is at the MCG, where club chairman Paul Little spoke a short time ago.
Sam, we understand tonight will be James Hird's last game in charge of Essendon, at least for this season. He's expected to stand down in time for Monday's commission hearing, and that's because Essendon is finally ready to do a deal with the AFL, which will see them stripped of their premiership points and miss this season's finals, while Hird will be given a 12-month suspension. But his coaching career with the Bombers may still not be over.
If there's a chance that he was suspended for a period of time, let's say he was out of the game for 12 months, could he then come back and coach Essendon after a 12-month period out of the game?
Absolutely, and that would be our preference. Look, James is remorseful, I know that, and he's looking for an opportunity to actually express that. And at this point in time, it's not going to be a 5-second message at the front of his house.
So it's still an ugly, messy affair, Sam, but it looks like it might finally be coming to an end.
Thanks, Nathan. Nathan Templeton there from Melbourne. John Worsfold may have only 1 week left as coach of the West Coast Eagles. After last night's thrashing at the hands of Collingwood, Worsfold admitted his coaching future is in serious doubt. A 26-year-old Quinns Rocks man has been charged with indecent dealing after 2 schoolgirls complained they were touched inappropriately at a northern suburb shopping centre. Jessica Vanderend was in court when the accused man appeared today.
Sam, the 2 girls aged 13 and 14 claim David John Bibovic touched their buttocks in aisle 6 of Coles at the Butler Shopping Centre. The incidents are alleged to have happened Monday and Tuesday this week. The Magistrates Court here in Northbridge heard Bibovic says contact was accidental both times. One of the girls was in her school uniform and told police the 26-year-old followed her outside and stared until her mother picked her up. The police prosecutor called it a possible abduction attempt, but the magistrate said the facts don't bear that out and granted bail, ordering Bibovic now only visit supermarkets with his girlfriend and stay at least 250 metres away from schools. Police revealed in court they want to question him over other alleged incidents involving white vans at schools in Perth's northern suburbs and have asked anyone with information to come forward. Sam?
Family and friends of a missing Woodvale man mounted their own bush search to try and find him. Almost 100 people in 4-wheel drive scoured an area near Pinjar in Perth's north in search of Paul Nation. Kevin Rudd has suspended his election campaign and returned to Canberra to be briefed by national security officials on the unfolding crisis in Syria. US President Barack Obama says this week's alleged chemical attack needs the world's attention. And there are now reports he's preparing to strike. We warn some of the following pictures are confronting. And Mr Rudd's decision to vacate his campaign left the spotlight on Tony Abbott, who continues to enjoy a lead in the polls. He was in South Australia, Julia Gillard's home state, which the coalition believes could swing in its favour, partly because she was dumped as leader. Still to come after the break, Schapelle Corby's sentence reduction officially approved, plus deadly attacks. Dozens killed by car bombs in northern Lebanon. And a big great white menaces a lone fisherman near Fremantle.
Inside this 8-year-old boy was a ticking time bomb that went off. The little Perth boy left paralysed without warning. The rare condition that almost killed him.
His amazing determination to get back on his feet.
Monday on 7 News.
A fisherman has captured video of a great white shark menacing his boat off Port Beach, Fremantle. The 4.5-metre shark circled the man's boat before charging it, spinning the vessel 180 degrees. The head of the Bali Justice Department has officially signed off on the latest reduction to Schapelle Corby's sentence. Officers paid a late-night visit to Kerribakan Jail to deliver the remission papers to Corby. The 6-month reduction was recommended during last weekend's Independence Day celebrations, but a backlog of paperwork meant it hadn't been formally approved until yesterday. Corby is expected to be granted parole within months. 2 powerful car bombs in northern Lebanon have killed at least 42 people. The Red Cross says another 500 have been injured, with most suffering serious burns and head wounds. The bombs were detonated outside 2 mosques where worshippers had gathered for Friday prayers. The violence was sparked by the ongoing conflict in Syria. The blasts are the deadliest since the end of Lebanon's civil war. It's time for sport now with Adrian Barrage, and it's a sellout at Subibarra.
Yes, Sammy, it's a full house sign is out at Patterson Stadium tonight. That's next as the Eagles hit a record low. The Dockers tackle the power. Freo try to give Port the old heave-ho and stitch up 3rd spot. And Michael Clark and Kevin Peterson clash during the 5th Ashes Test. The Fremantle Dockers take on Port Adelaide tonight in front of a sellout crowd at Patterson Stadium. Fans are wearing white for member recognition night. A win will see the Dockers consolidate 3rd spot on the ladder, while Port are looking to seal a final spot.
Well, they're dog hungry tonight, as are we, so hopefully we're in for a fierce challenge.
And that game is coming up on 7 straight after the news. And as you've seen, it was another unwanted record for the West Coast Eagles last night, with the club recording their lowest ever score at the MCG in a 62-point loss to Collingwood. Geelong won today's blockbuster against the Sydney Swans. In the other games, Hawthorn locked up a home final with a win over North Melbourne. Adelaide thumped Melbourne, while the Cats all but stitched up a top 2 finish. Michael Clark and Kevin Peterson have clashed during the 5th Ashes Test. And as the Aussies push hard early on day 4, Shane Warne had a go yesterday at Steve Waugh over his former skipper's love of the baggy green cap. And New Zealand have retained the Bledisloe Cup after defeating the Wallabies 27-16 in Wellington today. The Kiwis scored 2 tries to 1. Israel Folau with a runaway intercept try that gave the Aussies hope. New Zealand hitting back though. Australia now with just 1 win from their last 5 matches. And James Moffat has driven Nissan to their first V8 Supercars victory in 21 years at the Winton 360. Well done. Our coverage of the Fremantle Port game is coming up straight after the news. Now here's Sam.
Thanks, Barra. Showers developing tomorrow. I'll have the weather details next, plus the winning Saturday night lotto numbers.
Now, Fuel Watch. Perth's petrol prices. Brought to you by Fuel Watch and 7 News.
We had a real taste of summer today. It even got a bit warmer than the expected top. Our maximum was 26.4 degrees just after 1:30 this afternoon. Our low was 6.4. The current temperature in the city is 17 degrees. On the chart, there's a high in the southeast of the state responsible for today's summery weather. Tomorrow, a cold front will reach the west coast, bringing wintry conditions, and another front is expected on Tuesday. Let's have a look around the state. Sunny in the Pilbara and Top End, 27 and fine in Karratha. Kilratha, and the chance of a storm in Margaret River. Around the nation tomorrow, sunny in Sydney, a top of 23 degrees, a few clouds for Adelaide and Melbourne, and showers and 17 in Hobart. On the water, some strong winds late tomorrow, southwesterly 10 to 15 knots to start, but getting up to 30 knots in the evening, seas up to 2.5 by the evening, same for the swell. And now for tomorrow's forecast, and it's going to be quite a change from today. Showers and the chance of a storm. 21 the top after a low of 10 degrees. And looking to the week ahead, Monday, showers clearing, 19 degrees, and the wet weather is back for Tuesday with the chance of a storm. Now it's time for Saturday Lotto. Good luck. And that's all from the 7 News team for now. I'll have updates throughout the evening.
Seven News, the pulse of Perth.